Welcome back to Simply Zen Spirit, and I'm Allison. Thank you all for watching today. I'm going to talk about something that I was really thinking a lot about this week, and that is the concept of awakening, and how when you're spiritually awakened, it's a bumpy ride. Sometimes it is a very bumpy ride. You have lots, it's kind of like a roller coaster. You have lots of highs and you have lows and you have everything in between. And it goes with the territory. Because once you're spiritually awakened, you have opened a door. And you can't go back through the door. You can't go back to who you were. You can't give back the gift of awakening. It happens, you have to deal with it, both good, bad, and indifferent. It's there. Now, when you're first awakened, it's bliss. And that's what I really experienced about 10 years ago. And I went through several months of that, probably 4, 5, 6 months of bliss. And when you're feeling like that, you're just on top of the world. Nothing else phases you. It just doesn't faze you. I'll give you an example of that. The summer that I was awakened, summer of 2014, I was teaching a summer school class in psychology at the community college. And it was a 5-week session. We met Monday through Thursday every morning for like 2.5 hours. And I was just so happy every day. Like I was happy from the moment I got up. I was happy when I got to school. And one of my students, like the second week of class, said to me, "Wow, I'm just so excited to actually come to this class because I have never had a happier teacher." And I was so happy. I was probably obnoxiously happy, okay? But this one student really appreciated it. And I was just like that all the time. I just kept having experiences and just, I was going to this meditation group. I had a fellowship of people to be with. It was amazing times. But at some point, the honeymoon of that comes to an end. And you reach a lot of what I call desert plateaus. And in the desert plateaus, not much is going on. And so you have to be patient because the awakening hasn't stopped. You've just reached a different phase. And so during those plateaus, you just have to be okay with that and keep meditating. Meditation is the foundation of all of it. You have to keep meditating because that is what really drives you forward in your progress, in your spiritual progress. The meditation is the core. It is the core. And so you keep doing it. And sometimes it's difficult until you really, there is a point, and I'll do more specific videos on meditation at some point, but there is a point in meditation where it becomes not a chore anymore. You actually look forward to it. Like I meditate basically almost every day now. And the days I don't, I really miss it. And the days I do it, I'm excited about doing it because I know what that feeling is when I go into meditation and I reach that alpha wave brain state and I'm in this just great place. It's bliss. So I get my little taste of bliss every day when I meditate. And that's one of the things that keeps me going. But then there are also really down periods, where I call it being in the basement. You go to the basement once in a while, spiritually, and it's not only that not much is going on, you're actually going through some tough stuff. And when you're in the basement, it seems like you're never going to crawl out of the basement. You're never going to get out of there. You're never going to experience that bliss anymore, or you're not even going to feel just contentment about where you're at. And so that requires a lot of faith and hope and trust in the process. Because, after all, awakening, when you're in the process of awakening, it is a process. It is a journey. The journey is the destination. There's no real end goal except when you die and you cross over and hopefully you're taking all that progress into the next dimension that you go. But people use the word enlightenment, and I I'm reluctant to use it because I have met very few people who I would say were truly enlightened. Now, that could be semantics, frankly. My vision of what enlightenment is could be different from someone else's. And so maybe there's a lot more enlightenment than I realize. And that's great if there is. I don't haggle with that. But I don't really personally talk about it because to me, the awakening is really, that is where it's at. If you reach enlightenment in this lifetime, great. If you reach it, fantastic. But I think a lot of people never necessarily reach that while they're living in this particular plane of existence. And so it's something that could happen, but it also could easily just happen on the other side as well. So I don't necessarily think about it in those terms. So I wanted to just explain that for a second. But the point is, it's a roller coaster. It's a bumpy ride. There are highs, there are lows, there is everything in between. And it is important to hang on for dear life. You know, it's funny that I use that analogy because I don't like roller coasters personally, like in a physical sense, but yeah. Metaphorically, that's what this is. It's a roller coaster. You can't give it back. Being awakened is a gift you can't return. Let me say that again. Being awakened is a gift you cannot return. It's a door that opens. You cannot go back through it. So you have to buckle up and deal with it. And there's a lot of good. And there's a lot of in between. And there's a little bit of bad. For me personally, I have not been in the basement a lot in the last 10 years. And if I've been in the basement, it's usually for very brief periods of time. So I love this journey. I love the idea of being awakened and being on a spiritual path. And it's one of the reasons I'm doing this channel right now, is to share that enthusiasm for this with all of you. Because even if it reaches just a few of you right now, then that's something. And if you have not gone through awakening yet, you have something to look forward to. And if you've gone through awakening, but you've been discouraged, then hopefully you will not lose hope in the process, because I'm telling you, you can't. It is always a positive thing in the long run. It really is. And I do believe that with all my soul. I really do believe that. So I came on here to inspire you today and if you have any questions about awakening, or you have an experience you'd like to share, please do so in the comments below, and also drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're interested in this type of subject matter. I really appreciate you watching, and until next time, be kind to yourself and to others. Take care. Bye.